Episode 22. My internship with my uncle, the porn director. Uncle Jack owned a company called World Film Enterprises at a building at 639th Avenue in New York City. The office was quite interesting. In front, he had a showcase with old projectors and a small reception area. It was a long, narrow office, and in back was his own office, kind of messy, with an old television set. In those days, it must have been about 5 to 7 inches, but it looked bigger because he had a covering, a plastic covering, which made it look much larger than it was. Next to his office was a repair shop where he used to repair equipment, projectors, and so on. I forgot to mention that he also developed the continuous loop projector, which used to sit in front of many theaters showing previews of movies continuously. He was also interested in collecting old movies, I didn't know what kind, and making interesting movies. Next to the repair shop was a theater, a screening room, where he used to rent out the room for screening of movies, commercials, projects, and so on. My uncle looked a little bit like Alfred Hitchcock, a short, heavy-set man, always smoking cigars and balding on top. Nice guy, though. I liked him, and I think he liked me. My uncle offered me a summer job at age 15. On Fridays, I would act as the office receptionist. My aunt, his wife, would be the receptionist during the week, but she took Fridays off, so here I am, being the receptionist. One Friday, a pretty red-haired woman entered the office asking for my uncle.
Hi, handsome boy. Is Jack here?
I run to the back and tell my uncle that there's a young lady in front. Her name is Dolores Devine, and it's his 11 o'clock appointment. He right away grabs his wallet, hands me a $10 bill, tells me to go to the Port Authority Terminal in New York, 42nd Street, take the bus out to Teterboro, New Jersey, to the Sylvania Light Company, where I should get him a special 50-watt light bulb. I take the bus to Teterboro, New Jersey, and I arrive at a huge warehouse across from the airport. I walk into this huge building named the Sylvania Light Company Warehouse. It seems empty, only big boxes, and no people there. However, a man approaches me and asks me what I'm doing here in this huge warehouse. I tell him that my boss needed a special 50-watt light bulb. The man wanted to know what was so special about a 50-watt light bulb. He said,
"Somebody's pulling your chain, kid."
He then gives me an entire case of bulbs, which I take back to the office. The following Friday, a beautiful blonde woman arrives at the office asking for my uncle.
Hello, big boy. Can you tell Jack that Lucilla is here?
This time I am told to go back to Teterboro, New Jersey again for a special 3-way light bulb. I had learned my lesson and went to Woolworth's downstairs instead of taking the bus to Teterboro, New Jersey. I bought a 3-way light bulb, and in order to kill time, I went for lunch across the street at a restaurant called Joe Franklin's Memory Lane Restaurant. Arriving back at the office, the door is locked. I unlock the door. Notice that the screening room door is also locked, but not having the key, I went into the projection booth. Upon looking through the little booth window, I see my uncle making a porno movie starring himself and the blonde with 2 cameras rolling. My uncle looks up to see me in the window. I drop to my knees and crawl back to the back room. He comes out later and tells me not to tell my aunt what I had just seen, and told me that I will become a cameraman when I turn 18. I kept asking him to let me become a cameraman, and finally he did. "Manfred," he said, "I am shooting a special movie at the Waldorf Astoria, and you can be a cameraman outside of the bedroom." Just outside of the bedroom. Not inside, but just outside of the bedroom. I said, okay. As he was shooting the porn film, he stationed me outside of the bedroom, I guess about 7 yards away. Well, that was the end of my career as a cameraman. When we looked at the rushes, my camera was shaking so much that you could hardly see what was going on. And that was the end of my career as a cameraman.